welcome to Remembering Our Spirits from the book Around the Year with Emmett Fox. I hope this finds you all doing well. December 19th, 2023. The Devil's Last Ditch. When you have driven the devil out of every corner of your heart, his last refuge is to take shelter in negative analysis. He will say, "You prayed before and nothing happened," or "You have been praying so long for that." Or perhaps he will say, "There is no way that it can come about." When this kind of thing comes into your thought, do not be discouraged. Rather, rejoice. For this means that Satan is positively in his very last ditch, and now is the time to clear him out. And if you will be loyal to God, it will be less difficult. Now is the time to know the truth quietly and to hold on to it in spite of false appearances. Now is the time to witness to the faith that is in you. That is in you. No finer opportunity for a great step forward spiritually can ever come to you than this one. Take advantage of it and rejoice in your good fortune. It is not when things are going well that we make our progress. It is not even when things are going wrong and yet we feel sure that we can handle them with prayer that we advance. It is when, smitten by the temptation of discouragement or even despair, yet we stand for what we know is the truth and say with Job, "Though he slay me, I will trust in him." Job 13:15. I personally do not believe that there is a devil outside of us attempting to cause harm. I believe that we have love and fear within us, and whichever one we're choosing to be in relationship with and feed either creates an internal heaven or an internal hell for us that we then experience externally. That's my belief. I don't believe there's an entity outside of me causing me harm. Now, is there harmful energy out there? Of course there is, because there are people feeding harmful energy within themselves. I choose to feed enhancing and expanding energy of God that is love within me, and only love. That is the energy that I choose to feed and be in relationship with. When discouragement and despair come into my life, they come in the forms of fears, and self-doubt. That's how they show up for me, in fears and self-doubt. And I willingly own them and walk through them. This feels like the valley of the shadow of death. It does. For me, it does. I look forward to hearing what your experiences are. And it feels like the valley of the shadow of death because it can feel like a part of me is going to die. It just feels like I'm going to die. And I hate that. Cancel, hate. I dislike that feeling so much. So much. However, I'm willing to walk through that feeling. And please know that I always call upon one other person in human being physical form to walk with me. One other person. There's no way I can walk through a dark night of the soul with just myself. It's too dark for me. It's too dark. I walk with one person who is holding a light for me and with me while I'm making my way through the dark obstacle within me that's covering the perfect remembrance of truth of the love that I am, my spirit, my spirit. Obstacles and self-doubts and fears that I've picked up and chosen for myself. No one is doing them for me. Now, did parental figures contribute to those based on childhood woundings and traumas? Of course. Just like the parent in me contribute to some of them in my daughter. It's part of the human experience. And by 30 years old, in my world, it's 30 years old that we take responsibility for every single relationship and thought and belief and perception that we are having. It's our responsibility. I don't believe in the devil. I believe in fear and love. And where am I continuing to feed any fear-based thoughts, beliefs, and perceptions that then become fears and self-doubts within me? I don't know exactly what my video channel is going to look like for next year. I haven't received clarity on that yet. I have some ideas, and I haven't received clarity. Last December, I was crystal clear. I was reading out of Emmett Fox's book, and I was writing a book in 2023. And both of those things, this one has almost been accomplished. And the book is accomplished. And so for next year, I don't know exactly what that looks like. Oh my God, that brings me so much discomfort. It brings me so much discomfort. Like, I need to know right now. The unknown. Ugh, the unknown. I am willing to live and walk in the unknown with my spirit, joining with the eternal, infinite energy of love that I call God. These are the areas where I am really knowledgeable and keen and am qualified to share on. Addiction, spirituality, and having a relationship with our spirit, and relationships, beginning with the one that we're having with ourselves. That is what the channel will look like in different ways and in different shapes and in different forms. Substance abuse is a real issue in our world. And to me, substance abuse is a relationship. And it is a relationship where you are choosing to harm yourself because it's too scary and challenging to walk through the harmed, wounded, trauma places within you. And it is. You cannot walk through them alone. Is there perhaps a chemical trigger that gets triggered when we ingest substances? Yes, I believe there is. That is for the experts that I turn to for knowledge about that. And we will be talking about that next year. For today, there are two things that you can begin to support yourself in relationship with today. One of them is exercise. You can even walk in place for 20 minutes a day, and that will be beneficial. And the other is you can control the food that you're putting into your body and the amount of sleep you're getting. Start with those three things: exercise, walking in place for 20 minutes every day, eating a little teeny more healthy, 1% more healthy, one less soda, one less piece of junk food, and working on increasing your sleep and knowing what the right amount of sleep is for you. These are all suggestions. As always, take the best for you and leave the rest, and have a blessed day.